Hello everyone, I am Ricky and welcome to today's edition of the Mouse Bites. Now the Mouse Bites are your latest Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and Universal Orlando news. And I wanted to make sure that I got this out to you all today because there was some big news that was dropped last night, way late last night, way before I could, after I could record. So I wanted to make sure I shared all the news with you that you may have missed. And trust me when I say it is big news, because right now going on in Anaheim is the D23 Expo. Now this is the granddaddy of them all, Disney fanatic event. It's kind of like Comic-Con, and it really does showcase all the different aspects of the Disney company. So you've got movies that are there, you've got television, especially with ABC, the new Disney Plus. You've got, of course, the Parks and Resorts has a booth. You've got artists and things like that. So it really is a fantastic experience to go to. I unfortunately have never been, but maybe someday I will be able to get there. But because of this, there are all these panels that happen and big news gets dropped at these panels. So last night, as a preview, we found out a bunch of news that is very important, and it's going to tie into what we see on Sunday during the Parks and Resorts panel. You want to make sure you're following along with the Mouse for Less on all of our social sites, because we actually are at D23. So we do have a presence. Make sure you're following along, mostly on Instagram, because that's where we're posting for the most part. But you can also follow along for all the news on all of our other sites, so Facebook, Twitter, and that kind of thing. But I just want to make sure that if you really want to see what the expo is like, make sure you're following along on Instagram. With that being said, the Parks and Resorts panel is on Sunday. So we are going to have all the news that comes from the Parks and Resorts panel as we get it, as fast as my little fingers can type. So it's going to be a ton of news that's announced, especially with like the details that I have here. This is just the beginning of the things that are like we're learning about these things. So I can guarantee there's going to be more details about these topics that I'm going to discuss at the Parks and Resorts panel. So be prepared for more details about these things, as well as all the other things we don't know about, because we know that there are two major announcements that are happening for the Epcot expansion, redo, whatever, because they have all these gorgeous posters, which I would love to have. If Disney sold those in a book or a poster art or whatever, they would totally line my wall. But there are two posters that are covered. I have an idea potentially of what one of them is, but of course we will find out here on Sunday. So anyway, let's get to the news that was dropped, because we've already gone 3 minutes in and haven't even talked about the news. So first things first, and this I think is the biggest news that's so far dropped out of the D23 Expo, and that is a brand new Moana attraction is coming to Epcot. Now, this is not necessarily a ride, so when I say attraction, that doesn't mean ride, but what it will be is a lush exploration trail that will invite guests to meet and play with the magical living water. The new attraction is themed around Moana, and it is called Journey of Water. And currently these are all the details that we have about this brand new attraction, but we do expect that it's probably going to be situated near the Living Seas, or I guess I should say the Seas with Nemo and Friends Pavilion at Epcot. So that's where we're thinking that this is going to be situated. Again, more news about this new attraction is definitely, the Journey of Water attraction is definitely going to be announced on Sunday. So again, make sure you're following along so you get all the rest of the details of what to expect. Moving along, continuing with Walt Disney World, we have the official name of the Star Wars Hotel. So this was announced back at D23 last time that they were building the Star Wars Hotel. And this brand new immersive hotel is officially going to be called Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Now, this will be a first of its kind resort that will completely immerse guests into the Star Wars story. Guests who visit this hotel will take part in a 2-night Star Wars adventure by boarding a starship called the Halcon. I don't know Star Wars, so if this is a real Star Wars thing, I'm not entirely sure, and I'm sorry if I butchered it. Which is owned by the Shadrilla Starline. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize if I butchered it. During your stay, guests will experience characters and stories that unfold all around them as and they will immediately become active citizens in the galaxy and have the opportunity to dress up to play the part. So this is the ultimate like cosplay experience if you've ever wanted to live your Star Wars dream. You know, they started out with Galaxy's Edge, but this is going to be incredibly detailed way to live your Star Wars dreams. So the new hotel will connect to the new land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, at Disney's Hollywood Studio. Again, I can guarantee you more details are going to be announced about Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser as this weekend on Sunday. But if you want to find out what the Star Cruiser looks like, go to the news section of the Mouse for Less. We have a piece of concept art that shows what the Star Cruiser is going to look like. And they are actually building this. I saw them building this new hotel when I was there a couple weeks ago. So it is in current production, I will say. Construction. There we go. Anyway, moving along, another announcement that happened at the D23 Expo was the name was announced for the new Marvel-themed land at Disney California Adventure. So this new land will officially be known as Avengers Campus. Now, Avengers Campus will not only be headed to Disney California Adventure, but it will also go to the Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris as well as Hong Kong Disneyland. This new land is, of course, replacing a Bugs Land and is currently under construction at Disney California Adventure. It will eventually incorporate the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout attraction, as well as include additional attractions, shopping, and dining. Again, more details of what we can expect with the new Avengers Campus land will be announced this weekend at the D23 Expo. So make sure you are tuned in for that. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention about Epcot, because like I said, there was just so much news that was announced, is that we did get a piece of concept art about what the new Epcot is going to look like when it's finished with its refurbishment. Again, if you want to see what this looks like, go to the Mouse for Less, our news section, and take a peek. It looks completely different than what we know Epcot to look like. Lots of new green space and things like that. We also got information about the brand new pavilion. The Odyssey Events Pavilion will officially hold a gallery that is called Walt Disney Imagineering Presents the Epcot Experience. If you want to see what, excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. If you want to see what Epcot is going to look like when it's officially done, and when they're done with all the transformation, go to this new pavilion, which opens on October 1st. It's going to look fantastic. The exhibit is spectacular. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. Now, last but not least, and this is just a little small detail, but it's still kind of interesting. So at Walt Disney Presents, which is in Disney's Hollywood Studios, there's going to be a brand new exhibit that is a temporary exhibit called The Eternals, Jack Kirby's Cosmic Series. Now, here guests are going to be able to see the book that started it all, the original print issue of the #1 comic. Guests are also going to be able to see unique photos and artifacts that have been inspired by Jack's process on display. And finally, you'll be able to stop at a photo wall where you can pose with many of your favorite characters from the Eternals comic series. So if you are a Marvel fan, you are absolutely going to want to check out this brand new temporary exhibit at the Walt Disney Presents in Disney's Hollywood Studios. No word on when the exhibit will be closing, but it'll probably be around for a little while. So, all right, that's going to do it for all the news. I told you it was a lot. I wanted to make sure I got it done before all the other hoopla started. So that's why it's coming up on late, and it's why it's so long. Make sure, like I said, you're following along. You want to be following along this weekend with the Mouse for Less for all of the news that comes out. So again, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on Pinterest as well. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, and we'll see you all next time on the Mouse Bites with, I'm sure, an even longer Mouse Bites than this was. So we'll see you all Monday. Bye.